Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, October 13th, 2014, of course, from Atlanta, Georgia. Of course, 2 weeks away from Hell in a Cell, and Hell in a Cell could be the week. This could be the weakest Hell in a Cell, because the way they're booking it right now, heading into tonight's Raw. Before we started Raw, we only had, 2 matches made for Hell in a Cell. And we still have 2 matches only for Hell in a Cell. We're only 2 weeks away. Needed to add some more matches. We could have seeds for some matches. Maybe it's all taking on Ziggler for the IC Championship and other things, but not much, man. They need to book it up quickly. But we did find out, like I said, there's 2 matches made for Hell in a Cell. One of them that was supposed to take place during Hell in a Cell actually happened tonight. I'll get to that in a moment. As we would see the 2 men who were scheduled to fight each other at Hell in a Cell, John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Of course, made last week on Raw. Of course, I did not make a Raw review last week because I was in Ferndale, Michigan, doing a comedy thing. So I missed Raw live. I did watch the DVR, and it was an interesting Raw, especially with The Rock coming back. And this Raw was just okay tonight. Some interesting things, especially with the last minute change to a match in Hell in a Cell taking place tonight, like I mentioned. Now, heading to tonight, Cena and Ambrose will scheduled to fight in Hell in a Cell, like I mentioned, in a no-holds-barred contract on a pole match, where the winner of that match would take on Seth Rollins. Well, we start off with Ambrose coming out, talking about how he's going to beat up John Cena at the pay-per-view, and he's probably the most exciting thing right now to be in WWE right now. With a lot of guys injured and out of company, it's a tough time to be a WWE fan. Not much excitement. But Ambrose is kind of like most exciting because he's just a crazy motherfucker. And then Cena came out. These two have had an okay little rivalry. And having little issues, especially after last week. They were supposed to team up in a 3-on-2 handicap match with Ambrose running out of the arena to even taking a subway and coming back with a hot dog cart. And that sparked the match that was named for Hell in a Cell. But tonight, we would see these guys wrestle not once, but twice. The first time, in a triple threat tag team affair that was named by the Authority, coming out to up the activities involving Cena and Ambrose mouthing each other off. As they will once again be tag team partners, taking on the Usos and Golden Stardust, who of course have their rivalries. Kind of weird that you had 2 guys who hate each other team up with each other against 2 teams who do hate each other. 2 teams have a rivalry. And they kind of overshadowed Cena and Ambrose. Now, Cena and Ambrose did have some okay showing in the first half of the matchup, especially with them trying to team up together. But then Usos and Stardust and Goldust kind of stole the second half of the match. They had the second half of the match continuing their little rivalry. After, of course, seeing Gold and Stardust take the tag team titles from the Usos back at Night of Champions. About a month back. So we saw it was a decent triple threat matchup. When it goes all the teams, especially the last minute or so, was chaos with everybody flying. The Usos started flying, and then Cena climbed on the top and jumped on everybody. Then Ambrose did the same. And then after that, that's when it's set up for the ending. As Ambrose would toss in Golden Stardust to be fed the FU and a DDT from Ambrose and a 1-2-3 victory for John Cena and Ambrose. Despite the differences, they got the job done. And they even had a bet. They, being the Authority, had a bet. Triple H thought they were not going to get along. Well, they kind of did. So he owes Stephanie $1. Weird. Anyway, they came out and said, hey, you're going to fight twice tonight. Hell in a Cell, your match, your no-holds-barred contract match, comes 2 weeks only. Yes, tonight we would see Cena take on Dean Ambrose in the no-holds-barred contract match where the winner will get Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. And then another little twist was added in, as the loser would get Randy Orton in Hell in a Cell as well at the pay-per-view. Before we see the fate of all of these guys involved, who Rollins was going to wrestle, and who Orton was going to wrestle at Hell in a Cell, we had the rest of Raw. So we had a Divas tag team affair. Speaking of people who can't get along with anybody, referring to AJ, not getting along with any of her tag team partners. Last week, she walked out on a tag team match, teaming up with Emma to be fed to the Rampage, with Alicia Fox and Paige, of course. And tonight, Paige would team up again with Alicia Fox against AJ and a new partner, Layla. And like AJ did last week with Emma, walking out on her, Layla tried to do the same on AJ. Trying to walk out on AJ. But despite the walkout, Layla's walkout did not bug AJ too much, as she still got the victory alone with the Shining Wizard on Alicia Fox. So, okay, little tag team match, a little bit short, but we still want to see AJ and Paige getting on. You know, they've had a little rivalry, but I think it should have been done better. You know, the feud's been okay, but it should have been executed better. The execution's been off of that feud. You know what I mean? They've had some little situations, but it should have been a whole lot better. Could have been better executed. But it has been an okay little feud between these two. And of course, Paige did not get any action with AJ, who chased out Layla at the end of the matchup. So there you go. Now on to our next matchup. Randy Orton taking on Dolph Ziggler. Now make fun of Randy Orton all you want about him being a bland character and being stale lately. Like, he and Cena had the same problem. They were really good when they were early in their careers. When Cena had the rap gimmick, by the way, I applaud Cena for rapping again. Of course, he created the soundtrack to 2K15 and did some rap songs with Wiz Khalifa. Interesting songs, by the way. They're okay. I've heard them a little bit. It was kind of cool to hear Cena rap again. Hope he does a full album again, if he has the time, because he's so busy. That's what happened. He released You Can't See Me. When that came out, he was just about to be the big superstar. And he got too busy to make another album. It was kind of cool to see him back rapping again. And Orton was the same thing. Orton had a great gimmick when he was early on in his career. You know, the Legend Killer. And both guys have gotten really stale. You know, their characters have gotten stale. They've gotten stale. But Orton is kind of having a little renaissance lately. He had a great match against Chris Jericho at Night of Champions. Probably one of his best matches in a while. Because Orton has had great matches and great feuds. His feud against Christian's probably my favorite Randy Orton feud. Because Orton had great partners to dance with. That's the thing. Orton's had great matches and great feuds with people who can work with him. Who are great workers as well. Like Christian, Jericho. In this case, Dolph Ziggler, the Intercontinental Champion. Really good matchup, actually. Really decent matchup between these two guys. There were some good spots in this matchup. Two big spots. The big superplex. Now, I've seen superplexes before, but the elevation of the superplex by Orton was kind of cool on Ziggler. Kind of a cool back and forth matchup. Very good near falls. Really good action for these guys. And when Orton really wants to be good, when he wants to have a really good match, he can have good matches when he really wants to. When he doesn't want to be bland, he can actually have some good matches, especially with great opponents like Ziggler in this case. Who brought out the best in Orton, I think. He had some great spots too. The ending was kind of cool. Now, I've seen variations of Randy Orton using RKO, because back in the WCW days, we saw Diamond Dallas Page had so many ways to execute the Diamond Cutter. He can execute it from anywhere. Orton's been kind of like that too, but I don't think he has many effective ways to execute it like Diamond Dallas Page did. But Owens did the mid-air RKO. When someone comes up the top rope, he catches him in mid-air with the RKO. But we've seen that spot done. I think that was done on Jericho at Night of Champions. But the way he did it tonight, kind of interesting way to do it. Ziggler was trying to go for a famous or something, then Orton caught him in mid-air. He was ready to set up a powerbomb. He had Ziggler up in the air, looking like he was going to set up, like I said, for a powerbomb. By the way, we had Rollins at ringside watching, and Cesaro watching. Because like I said, Cesaro's got a little feud with Ziggler going on. They had a great triple threat match a few weeks ago with Miz. So I think it might be Cesaro and Ziggler in Hell in a Cell. So back to the ending for a second. Ziggler was in midair, up in the air, and then Orton dropped, as he was dropping Ziggler in midair, he caught him with the RKO in midair as he dropped him from the attempted powerbomb attempt. That was a cool way to do RKO as well, besides the top rope mid-air RKO, mid-air from a powerbomb. Like, reversed the powerbomb to the mid-air RKO. That was a cool spot. And the 1-2-3 victory for Radion, who is a former IC champion, got the victory over the current IC champion. Ziggler looked very good out there against Orton. But of course, like I said, Ziggler's got his little feud with Cesaro. I think that match should be named. Because like I said, we don't have a lot of matches for Hell in a Cell. We do have 2 matches in Hell in a Cell. But we're going to find out who faces who. Who will face Orton and who will face Rollins. And I think Orton and Rollins have their own little problems. They're supposed to be authority figures. They're supposed to be on the same team. But I think tonight, they're playing a little game of anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So the anything you can do battle, the can you top this battle, continued as Rollins, who was already out after the Orton match. He curb stomped Ziggler when he was already still down, as Rollins got ready for his match against, ironically, one of Dolph Ziggler's former tag team partners, Jack Swagger. Oh yeah, he's bugging me. So we would see Rollins against Swagger. Like, Rollins was kind of slithering out. Speaking of slithering, Orton did the same thing that Rollins did during his match. Orton came out to watch Rollins' match. And this is when Orton himself made the stipulation, the added stipulation of him facing the loser in Hell in a Cell in the no-holds-barred contract match. With the winner, of course, getting Rollins. You know, so Orton was there watching after Rollins watched his match. Rollins and Swagger was a decent little matchup, especially the way that I liked when Swagger blocked the curb stomp attempt and turned it into a Patriot lock. That was a cool little spot for Mr. Swaggy. And like I said, decent little matchup, these guys. And they got the Swagger going for, I think he went for the Swagger bomb at least once as well, besides going for the Patriot lock. It was an okay little matchup. Anything with Swagger being rolled up by Rollins, as Swagger was going for some in the 1-2-3 victory for Mr. Rollins. It's kind of like what Rollins did post-match to Orton's opponent. Orton RKO'd Swagger. You know, like I said, it's like anything you can do, I can do better. So they're trying to top each other here. Can you top this? So it would be interesting to see Orton and Rollins. They're supposed to be on the same team, but they could be falling apart, especially when Orton said a few weeks ago, we don't want to fight Seth Rollins' battles. Well, he may fight his own battle with Seth Rollins. That would be interesting to see Rollins break. I would love to see Rollins break out from the Authority. You know, being the Authority is okay for him. But Rollins needs to be like Ambrose. His own guy. Doesn't need anybody. He doesn't like anybody. He doesn't work for anybody. He's his own guy. And he's a crazy motherfucker. That's why people love Ambrose. He's like the anti-hero. Now, it's kind of an unfair comparison. But I know some people have called Ambrose the new Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's just because Ambrose is like that same kind of character. The anti-hero. You know, that bucks the system. It goes against the Authority. So that's why I think that get the comparison. I'm not comparing him to Stone Cold when it comes to wrestling ability. I'm just comparing him in character. Because they gotta have that same kind of character. The anti-Authority, anti-hero. You know. Sorry about the allergies. Then we had, of course, a match that was set to take place last week. Big Show and Rusev had their little feud building up. Of course, we were supposed to see them, like I said, last week. But Rock came back last week. And no matter what you say about The Rock being a part-timer and coming back when he wants to, kind of like Brock last name. But Brock Lesnar's champion. Every time Rock comes back, it's just the crowd eats out of his hand. Especially the timing. The Rock came back just after a stupid midget match involving El Torino and Hornswoggle. That is a feud that doesn't end. It was stupid. I'm glad the fans in Brooklyn said this is stupid. I applaud him for that. And then Rock came out, and then all of a sudden the champs were like, holy shit and shit. Because, come on, Rock got a great segment with Rusev. It would be interesting to see Rusev against The Rock. Right now we have Rusev and Big Show. Big Show came in really, really aggressive. He, like, stomped the hell out of Rusev right off the bat. He just came in like a house of fire, just pummeled on him. And then Rusev came back. Big dropkick that set up the later half of the matchup. It was okay. You know, Rusev looked interesting in this matchup. Especially the opening promo with them initiating the Atlanta fans to start doing a tomahawk chop after dissing the Atlanta Braves. Even Big Show did before he did the knife edge chop to Rusev in the corner with the fans doing it. You know, at least the Braves are still in the playoffs. Tigers blew it. Anyway, of course I live in Detroit. Anyway, so Rusev came flying back after the early fury from the Big Show. But then Big Show, despite being pummeled by Rusev, would come back strong with his big moves. He was setting up for the big knockout blow, the Weapons of Mass Destruction. A movie nailed before on Rusev, but after a match on SmackDown a few weeks back. So then we would have the attempt, blocked by Rusev, setting up the accolade. And then, here comes Mark Henry to the ringside area, distracting Rusev for just a quick moment for Big Show to try to recover. But then back on the attack came Rusev to nail the accolade again. But then Mark Henry got in the ring and took it on his own accord to attack Rusev, causing a disqualification. Big Show was kind of disappointed in Mark Henry for interrupting his match and kind of inadvertently screwing him out of giving Rusev his first defeated win. His first defeat. But then both guys trapped Rusev to finally nail the big knockout punch from the Big Show. Now, it is still kind of weird to see Rusev still undefeated after 6 months. But look at TNA. Ethan Carter III. If I'm not mistaken, and anyone can correct me on this, EC3's been in the company for a year, and EC3's still undefeated. If EC3 can stay undefeated in TNA, by the way, I saw someone wearing an EC3 t-shirt tonight. Trouble shirt got on camera. It made it more weird to see Rusev stay undefeated. That EC3 still undefeated. And I'm wearing a TNA shirt myself tonight. So if EC3 can stay undefeated for a year, Rusev can stay undefeated for 6 months. But look at Bo Dallas. He was undefeated, then he lost. That's what Rusev needs to do. He needs to face his first loss, you know. So, and like I said this many times before, what will happen to Rusev after his first loss? You saw what happened to Bo Dallas. So, we'll see what happens with Rusev if he can recover, if he ever loses. So, like I said, EC3 is still undefeated after a year and still hasn't lost yet. Who knows what happens with Rusev? And who can beat Rusev? Mark Henry can't beat Rusev. Big Show can't beat Rusev. Who can? So we shall see how long this will actually last. I think it's been like 6 months now of Rusev's undefeated streak without getting pinned or submitted. Now on to our next affair. Sheamus against The Miz. Now, of course, as any regular viewer of my reviews knows, I like to rant a little bit about the positioning of certain WWE superstars getting demoted. Like Dolph Ziggler, obviously. Wyatt family. By the way, I've been loving the new promos lately. The creepy new promos promoting the breakup of the Wyatt, separating both Eric and Warren away from the pack, away from the hood, going solo. The promos have been great. That's what the Wyatts needed to do. Not the Usos, but the Wyatts needed to do. Go away for a while and come back with these creepy promos to remind everybody why we love the Wyatts and why their debut was so long awaited. Because of those creepy ass promos they aired before they debuted. You know what I mean? And another guy I've been bitching about his positioning, Damien Sandow. But last week was kind of like Mizdow's breakup point. I've been applauding Mizdow for going through everything and taking everything that WWE is giving him, from wearing the stupid outfits and now being Mrs. Stunt Double. But I think the Stunt Double thing could really benefit him. Especially the way the crowd acted last week. And I love what he does now. And he did it again this week, like he did last week in the match against Sheamus and Miz. He acted everything Miz did. You know, if Miz is ready, he would do move Miz was doing. If he was doing a neck lock, Miz down was doing an invisible neck lock. And if Miz was getting punched, Sandow would react that way. That he would get it. Because he's a stunt double for Miz. So he's acting like it outside. And it was kind of funny to watch last week. And the crowd reacted to it last week. And this week, Sandow, Miz down did it again. And not only did he do the moves again, reacted what Miz reacted to, he also kind of helped Miz get the victory again this week. Now, Miz distracted Sheamus long enough last week for Miz to get a pin on the United States Champion. This week, Miz got another victory over Sheamus, being a countout one. As Miz was doing his little thing, Sheamus was coming in his big moves, and they were chasing each other around the outside area. And then both, because Sandow was reacting to Miz, like he was copying Miz. When Miz climbed under the rope, so did Sandow. And then Sandow got pulled out first. He ate a bro kick. But with Sheamus distracted by Miz down, he did not see that Miz, who was still underneath the ring, had crawled out of the ring to the other side of the ring, because they were by the side of the announce table. So Miz got back in, beat the count, he got a countout victory. Thanks to Sandow once again sacrificing himself for Miz winning. You know, he got another bro kick out of it, but Miz got the countout victory after slyly getting out of the ring, after being under the ring, and getting out from the other side. So there you go. Miz, he got a pin over Sheamus and a countout victory over Sheamus. So we could see Miz, who was a former IC champion, now gunning for the United States Championship, since he's run out of opportunities to face off against Ziggler. Hey, he's lost to Ziggler more times than he's won. You know what I mean? He's lost the IC title to Ziggler twice. He lost to him at SummerSlam, but then he regained it at Night of Champions, only to lose it the night later, the next night. So now Sheamus is gunning for Miz. And now Cesare's gunning for Ziggler. So there you go. Like I said, on to our next matchup. Divas, we had a couple reality show cameos tonight. We had Todd Chrisley. I call him Chris Chrisley on my Attack Sports, because I don't watch that show. I watch the commercials when it's on well. Todd Chrisley and Chrisley Knows Best, and some of his family members were there. I watched these commercials for the first season of Chrisley. I was like, fuck, another Kardashian type asshole prick. But see what he said tonight when he was interviewed about trying to raise his family to be helpful, loving people. That's great beliefs to live by, man. I applaud Todd Chrisley. They're not like the Kardashians, who are famous for wanting to be famous. The Chrisleys, on the other hand, are a family who just happen to be famous, who just happen to have a reality show. You know, they remind me of Duck Dynasty a little bit. Southern hospitality, Southern beliefs. And we had another reality star show up, NeNe Leakes, who was from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. No reaction at all to her. At least Todd Chrisley was on the mic only for the home audience to see. But then NeNe Leakes came out, who was on this reality show, and also on Glee. She was a coach on Glee. No reaction, that's deserved. And she came out for a 6-diva tag match. Like, no one cares about NeNe Leakes. At least Todd Chrisley was at least honest. You know, NeNe Leakes was just playing a character. Like, it didn't feel like she was there for the right reasons. She's there to be on TV, promote a show. Chrisley, yes, he's there to promote a show too. But like I said, it was sincere and honest. But like I said, we're talking about trying to raise his family, helping, loving people, and appreciating an opportunity that he's been given. He appreciates being famous. He doesn't take it for granted. You know what I mean? And his family getting an opportunity to meet people like John Cena, you know, they're benefiting from the TV show. And not abusing, like the Kardashians, like I said, they're abusing the famous for being famous. You know? It's like, hey, we're famous. Let's do whatever the fuck we want. And people will like it because we're famous. What are you famous for? Nothing. So, there you go. They're like Seinfeld. They're famous for nothing. Because Seinfeld was a show about nothing. Anyway, 6 Divas tagged at NeNe Leakes accompany Brie Bella, Natalya, and Cameron, former tag team partner Naomi, would team up against Cameron, Nikki Bella, and Summer Rae. The only good thing with this tag match, we got to see Brie and Nikki face off for just a little bit, and Brie would get the victory in the matchup over Nikki. So, short matchup, who cares? NeNe Leakes should not have been there. At least Chrissy was honest. I liked him. I like him more now, because I used to hate him a little bit. I just thought he was another reality show prick. But seeing him tonight on Wall and giving an honest interview on Wall like that, appreciating the opportunity that he's been giving to be on television, not taking it for granted, like I said. Good guy right there. Now on to the matchup that, like I said, was supposed to be at Hell in a Cell, but now it's happening 2 weeks early. John Cena and Dean Ambrose in a no-holds-barred matchup. A contract on a pole match, no-holds-barred match. Winner would get Rollins, and the loser would get Orton. Now, I said this in my attack letter today, my attack sports today, should I say, that it should be Ambrose and Rollins in Hell in a Cell. It should not be Cena and Rollins. Because I've been saying it for weeks. That if you've been watching my Raw reviews, I've said it a couple weeks ago, that Ambrose and Rollins needs to happen in Hell in a Cell. Because it would be a perfect payoff for their feud. They've had great matches. SummerSlam match, even though it was a lumberjack match, it was still, they made a great match out of it. And then the next night, their no-holds-barred match was awesome. The night that Rollins laid out Ambrose on the bricks for him to be written out for a while until Ambrose would return at Night of Champions. So, and I've been wanting to see Ambrose and Rollins in Hell in a Cell. I think we're going to get it. I was like, well, it's supposed to be a match that's supposed to take place in Hell in a Cell in a couple weeks. They may have something screwy to prevent the match from ending properly and have it still take place in Hell in a Cell. Well, my prediction almost came true. As the Authority would come out. All of them. Triple H and Stephanie would be bystanders. Or bringing out their cronies, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Kane to watch the proceedings. And the match was okay. I'm glad this match didn't take place in Hell in a Cell. No wonder why I decided to have this match 2 weeks early. If they had this match 2 weeks early, or 2 weeks later, the match would have been the same. Just okay. There's some okay action there. There was some, and it wasn't really no holds barred. They just made that stipulation so Orton and the Authority can get involved, which they did. After Orton and the guys watched, Ambrose had both guys had ample opportunities, especially Ambrose, to get the pole when the guy was down. But they just beat up on Cena some more, including a snap suplex on the stage. And they even fought in front of the Authority, with Ambrose being talked down by Orton, and Ambrose puts Orton aside, and then Cena would nail Ambrose onto the Authority. And that's what kind of got the Authority riled up, and that's what got him to get involved in the matchup. Because after Cena tried to do the SCF, and even got his hand bitten by Ambrose, it was an interesting main event, especially with the fact, even with the screwy ending. So then after the Authority got nailed by Cena and Ambrose, with Cena nailing Ambrose and the Authority, here comes the Authority back in the ring to attack both Cena and Ambrose. This being no DQ, this is legal. And then both Cena and Ambrose cleared the ring of all the members of the Authority, with Cena delivering the last blow to Kane. But as Cena was FUing Kane, that left Ambrose an ample opportunity to climb up the pole. And while doing it, you can't see me to Cena, grab the contract, and we all going to have the match that I've been begging for. Rollins and Ambrose in Hell in a Cell. If they don't fuck this up, it is going to be an epic match in Hell in a Cell between Ambrose and Rollins. It should be. Given the opportunity to have the match their way in the cell, and they're going to put on an excellent match. That's why I've been wanting to see Ambrose and Rollins in Hell in a Cell. The feud's been awesome. The match has been great. The build-up's been great for the feud, and it needs the ultimate payoff. And this is it. Ambrose, Rollins, Hell in a Cell. It's going to be epic. The only bad thing is we get to see Cena and Orton for the millionth, bajillionth fucking time in Hell in a Cell. Because wasn't it 5 years ago, Orton took on Cena in Hell in a Cell, the first Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? And it was Orton and Cena for the world title. And now here we are again 5 years later, and it's Cena and Orton again in Hell in a Cell. But at least the payoff is we got to see Ambrose and Rollins in it. Despite the screwy ending, it was an interesting main event. I wish they used more weapons, though. That's the only quip that I had about the no-holds-barred match. It didn't live up to being a no-holds-barred match. They should have used weapons. But it was a decent match. We got to see maybe a turn. Maybe Rollins and Orton having a feud later on. Who knows? But I'm loving the fact that we got to see Rollins. We're going to see Rollins and Ambrose. That's a thing. That Orton would face the loser, and Orton's going to face Cena. That's like a downfall. It's kind of a downgrade for Orton having to pick up the table scraps. You know, get the loser of the match, while the winner takes Rollins on it, Hell in a Cell. So decent matches tonight, especially Rollins. His swag was okay, but I liked the Orton Ziggler tonight. And we have 2 matches for Hell in a Cell in Hell in a Cell. That means we're going to have the supplementary matches that aren't going to be in the cell. Guessing Ziggler and Cesaro, maybe Sheamus and Miz. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a proper one-on-one match between Nikki and Brie with no stipulations like one arm time behind the back or whatever. Maybe that may happen. But till then, it was a decent Raw tonight. As we head towards Hell in a Cell, more matches though, but at least we are going to get Rollins and Ambrose in Hell in a Cell. So happy that Cena did not win the match. I did not want to see Cena and Rollins in Hell in a Cell. Because one, I did not want Cena to bury both Rollins and Ambrose in the same night. Or in this case, beating Ambrose on Raw, then going on to Hell in a Cell against Rollins. And 2, ruin the ultimate payoff between Rollins and Ambrose. And we all going to get it. Rollins and Ambrose Hell in a Cell should be epic. If they do it right, if they don't fuck it up, Rollins and Ambrose should be excellent. And also, if nobody gets injured the day before the pay-per-view. Talking to you, Roman Reigns. Last minute or not, it was sucky to see Rollins and Reigns get canceled one night before the pay-per-view. That's like what's been happening with UFC lately. We have an epic main event, and then before the pay-per-view, somebody gets injured, and the main event gets canceled. The one we've been wanting to see. An example of Bones and Cormier. So we want both these guys to stay healthy for an epic Hell in a Cell match between Ambrose and Rollins. So that's it for my WWE Raw review for this lovely Monday night. With that in mind, y'all been attacked by the review from Zach. Thank you for watching. See you later.